Suddenly the
Hello,
audio.
everyone. Um, they didn't know I'd actually turned on the recording now. My name's Nicole. I'm with the Simple View marketing team, and I'm your moderator today. We have Christopher Rolls. I don't know why I paused weirdly in the middle of his name, and David Roberts here. I know we promised Becky, but she is unavailable. So I would love to say that you're getting something better, but I really like Becky.
Well, we sure appreciate Christopher jumping in at the last second and helping us out with this webinar. So thanks, Christopher. Like nothing like last minute requests, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very happy to be here, although suddenly I feel undervalued.
Only by some of us, only by some of us.
And only to Becky. It's really, I have
You're
a great
right.
fondness.
I cannot replace Becky. Becky is certainly one of a kind, and we love her dearly.
So I just want to let everybody know this is being recorded. You will get an email with the link. And then if you have any questions, use your chat box or your Q&A. And with that, I'm going to go and sit back and watch you guys play this game and hand it over to Christopher and David. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Nicole. Appreciate it as always. Couldn't do this without you. This is our second quiz show, so we're going to be having some new, a little bit tougher questions, and there's going to be a few easy ones in there too. For those of you that are in the know, there'll be some hints with some of the questions to kind of help you out with a little bit. But this is our second quiz show, and we were just excited to kind of put it on for you and have some fun today. Christopher and I are your hosts. We've already done our introduction, so there's our official slide page. But here's what you need to see to be able to access the quiz through the Kahoot app. So if you grab your phone or tablet, or if you're on a multi-screen monitor and you can open up a browser and on your laptop or desktop situation, you're going to want to go to kahoot.it, www.kahoot.it, and then you're going to want to enter your game pin, which is 3558335. So we're going to give you all a minute to do that. Please make sure that you enter your work email, because this is how we're going to keep track of who's participating. And also there's a prize. So there's a $25 Amazon gift card for the winner, the person who comes in first place today. And so we want to be able to get that to you if you end up on the podium, right? So for sure.
I recommend, if you can, have the web browser open as well as using the handheld. That works really well because there are some game rules coming up after everybody gets the pin. So you'll see why it can be advantageous to have both if you can.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of times you can be watching the screen, which is going to show you that high resolution detail. Just, you'll be able to read along with the questions, but also maybe see some images that might help with either the clues that we're giving you, or also the explanations afterwards when we explain what the correct answer was. So now that you have that pin, once again, and if you don't, just so that you remember what it is, it's 3558335. Go ahead and put that in, or write that down really quick, and we're going to move on to the next slide.
This music is kicking, by the way.
Awesome. It's always an interesting choice with the music. So
I feel like I'm living in Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, so Christopher, feel free to jump in here, and you've got a lot of experience with Kahoot, so we wanted to remind you to when you're playing the game, read the questions a lot. We'll be reading the questions to you, but read along with us, and then you'll see the questions from the presenter screen, so you'll be able to see that information. And then each question appears followed by the answer choices. So that's going to be how you match up what's on your phone. If you're using the phone and screen in combination, you can select your answer on your device that way.
And Dave, let's not forget to inform people that there are different forms of answers. So we have true or false, we have multi-select, and then we'll just have a single select answer, correct?
Correct, absolutely correct. So it's just going to be the shapes and colors on your phone or tablet or browser tab. So that is going to equate to the answer that you see on the screen that's represented. So again, it's multi-select, true, false, or select one correct answer. And in some cases, select the wrong answer, right? Like all of these are true except for, and so you'll see all of those things. Anything else, Christopher?
No, except that we will do our best to try and inform you what type of answer you'll need to give us.
Yes.
But yeah, there's a lot to read on some of the screens. So time is a factor when you're playing the game as well. So there we go. Let's get into the strategy.
Let's talk about strategy. So the faster you answer, the higher you'll be on the hierarchy in terms of, you both answered correctly, but the person who answered more quickly is going to actually be slightly ahead in terms of points. So a faster answer will get you a higher score, but you also want to answer correctly. So don't jump the gun and push the wrong answer. That could hurt you too. First place winner gets that $25 Amazon gift card. And then, we're going to have some fun and, just really try to tackle some of these more advanced topics with a few easy ones in there to just get you warmed up and just to take the pressure off. This is all about having fun. So don't worry if you get wrong answers. We'll go through the explanations. You might just go, oh, I just picked the wrong answer. Or you might go, oh, I didn't understand that. I didn't know that was the case. We'll hopefully provide some explanation to increase your knowledge.
We have a request to share that pin one more time, Dave.
You got it. Let's do that. One more time. It's going to be 355-8335. And it's going to display right here on the top of the screen here, where you see the Kahoot pin, 355-8335. So we've got a good group of folks joining us all so far.
Oh, I recognize some folks here from training.
Yep.
Fantastic. Rita Wells.
Awesome.
Hi, Rita. Just so everybody knows, I am from the CMS world, essentially. So Dave is the oracle for CRM knowledge. I am very excited to be here. I will be learning a lot today from Dave and from our clients as well.
Yep.
I can't say enough. I'm very honored to be here in place of Becky.
Thanks, Christopher.
Yeah.
We are never short of ideas. We're always thinking about other things. One of the things Christopher and I had talked about was maybe someday down the road we'll have a CRM CMS combined, and then we could really test your simple view knowledge that way, right?
Yeah, that would be like an Olympic. That would sort of like be the Olympics of these quiz shows. Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, Nicole, do you think we should go ahead and get started at this point? We're a good 10 minutes into the hour almost, so I think maybe we should go ahead and start.
Yep, let's get ready. And I think everybody's prepared. I'll put the Kahoot and the code here in the chat box again, just in case we have any more late people. But otherwise, Have fun, guys.
All right, fantastic. Well, it is great to see you all. Thank you all for joining. And I'm going to give it just one more second until we are officially 10 past the hour. And then we're going to hit that start button.
Great. And I will be reading the questions today since I am CRM ignorant.
I think you would actually do really well on this quiz, Christopher, based on our preparation for this webinar today. So
I appreciate that, David. Thank you so much.
It's true. You're selling yourself short. All right, we're going to get started. Here we go.
All right.
Here's our first question.
Let's get it going. 2021 CRM quiz part 2 in 3, 2, and to the 1. First question. Clicking the CRM headers question mark icon provides access to which of the following? Ooh. All right, we're off to a good start here. I hear some clicks.
Yes, we've got lots of answers.
So that question mark icon provides access to which of the following? Oh,
All right, we got quite a mix. I got good news and bad news. Those of you that did not select all of the answers shown are correct. You did select correct answers, but actually all of those items are correct.
Ooh,
So we've got PB in Texas heading up the pack, and we'll keep on going and see where we are. So let's just talk about that question mark icon. Again, this provides actually access to the user forum, the CRM knowledge base. We mostly train that this is where you can get access to those knowledge base articles. But of course, you can see here in the screenshot, you can actually jump to the user forum from that question mark. You can actually find those related KB articles and search for all of that information right from that question mark tool. All right,
great
that's the
information,
knowledge.
Dave.
Yeah, really good. So a little bit harder, as you can see, a little trickier, but also honest and accurate. So let's go on to the next question.
Excellent. All right, next question. Where in CRM would you anonymize a contact record? We want to anonymize our contact record. Where would we go in CRM?
This is one of those big issues with privacy. We're seeing the GDPR coming around, consumer privacy really becoming an issue. All right.
Oh, we got some solid answers there.
We got some solid answers there, and that is go to the data subject and anonymization report. All right, little switch there in the lineup there. So we are, competing, and the race continues. And let's just talk about this answer a little bit. So here you're seeing a little display of where you would find that data subject and anonymization report. This is really, it's a report, but it's really an action, right? We're going to identify that record and use the anonymize button to scramble that data. The nice thing about this is this isn't going to delete the data out of the CRM. We don't want to lose our historical aggregate data. But what we are going to be able to accomplish is we're going to make that information unreadable to any user of the CRM. So that privacy of that individual is completely maintained without losing the data in the CRM. So I would definitely read up on this if you haven't used this tool before or run this report before. Read up on that knowledge base article and get some more information there.
I like the plugs for the knowledge base.
Yes. All right. On to the next question.
Next question. Who can see the snapshot tab in the meeting sales user group? So we have a snapshot tab. Who can see it in the meeting sales user group? There's that. That's some dance floor tunes right there, Dave.
That's right.
Ooh.
All right. The correct answer is only system administrators can see that. So let's move on and explain that one, because that might have been a little bit tricky for folks.
PB in Texas back on top, though.
Back on top. Good job. So let's explain this a little bit. So it's true. Only the system administrators can view, edit, or delete snapshot records. They can see the changes to the lead over time, and that's really what it's supposed to be for. If there's a big swing in the number of room night requests, or there's a big change in pricing or anticipated visitors, all of those things can happen. And when they do, it's nice to be able to go back and almost see that photograph of how that lead was originally entered. And so that snapshot record is really a privilege of the system administrators. So you have to be set up as a system admin or have that function turned on with regard to your user in the system.
Excellent.
All right,
move on. Yep.
Next question.
Which of the following is the best name for the profile associated with the lead titled 2022 Annual Marketing Summit? So we want the best name for the profile associated with that lead title.
Lots of early answers and a few thinkers, which is where I would be. All right.
Oh.
So most of you got this right. Good job. It would be the Annual Marketing Summit. The profile is the prospecting center from which we are going to build the lead from. So we got PB in Texas holding in place, a little shifting around there.
Definitely.
Jill, 3 in a row. Good job, Jill. So just remember the profile is that regular recurring meeting, and it is that profile that we want to build the lead from. So that's going to have the generic name, Simple View Summit Annual Staff Retreat. Now, the Simple View Summit happens every year, but guess what? It didn't happen in 2020. We had a virtual one, and we're probably looking at having our next in-person one in 2022. So these are some things that where we would not attach the date to the profile, but only to the specific lead. So that hotel that's going to host our conference in the future in 2022, that'll be the lead, the Simple View Summit 2022. But the profile is just the Simple View Summit, right? It's a good way to think about it. All right. Next question.
Next question. Where in CRM would you go to duplicate activities from an existing FAM trip to a new one? So we want to duplicate the activities from an existing FAM trip to a new instance.
We can always build those activities from scratch, but we like to save time.
Yes, we do, Dave.
All right. And we got a great set of answers there. It is going to be the import activities button on the new FAM, right? So let me show you what I'm talking about. So it looks like everybody took a hit with that one, but Jill has got 4 in a row. So good job, Jill. That's going to move you up in the rankings there. And so we are talking about the itinerary tab on the FAM trip site inspection record, and it's going to be the import activities button. So what that lets you do is it actually, if you create a master, let's say a master FAM as a sort of ideal version of a FAM trip, and you put every single possible activity, all 4 or 5 breakfast places, all 4 or 5 morning activities, all your lunches, all of your tours and attraction visits and all of your hotel visits all in one master FAM, then you can just import those into the next FAM and save yourself time by just importing only those activities that you want to go into the new FAM, and then just simply updating the time. So this little screen animation here shows you kind of how that looks and how that would work. It's a great time saver. It's something that gets underutilized, and that's why it's one of those more advanced questions for you today.
Dave?
Yes.
Now I know your rap name as well. Master FAM. This is what I'm going to call you from now on.
Master FAM. Oh, goodness. Okay. I like it. It's a good one. Could be much worse. All right. Let's move on to the next question.
All right. Here we go. If you mark the confidential field as yes on a lead, what happens?
This is a good one.
I'm going to buy this soundtrack. So marking that confidential field as yes on a lead. We want to know what happens.
All right. Almost everybody got this one right. The meeting planner's information will not appear on the extranet. So we've got some other folks moving up in the rankings, but staying pretty tight. And let's talk about the explanation real quick. I just kind of put this redacted image in here to just kind of think about it like that. The meeting planner information is going to be kept confidential, and we can oftentimes have that radio button of confidential yes set to yes by default. So when folks are creating the lead from the profile in the future, it'll automatically default to confidential. And that's really the idea. DI says you as the DMO, you as the destination marketing organization should be the single point of contact for your meeting planners and events managers that are trying to bring their business to your destination. So we really don't want to share that information with your members and partners and stakeholders until the time is right. So setting that confidential and putting that information up on the extranet is going to automatically keep that information from your partners. And then you can also create some lead forms, some merge templates, I should say. You can create some merge templates that will not include the meeting planner information when you're initially sharing that information if you're not using the extranet. But again, that radio button is specifically for keeping that meeting planner information from the record on the extranet. All right. Next question.
Dave, next question. Which search feature lets you change search parameters from the search result page? So I'm going to read that again. Which search feature lets you change search parameters from the search results page? A lot of searching going on there.
Yes.
Ooh, got a lot of answers.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good
part-time
job.
filters.
All right. So the reports and search training is going very well. So all of these folks have absorbed that information really well. Good job. So let's just provide another quick explanation on that. Little shifting of the
Yeah, a little
stats
movement.
there. Jill is on fire with 6 in a row. So good job, Jill. That's going to pay off in the end there. You're going to climb your way to the top. So here's just a little example of how that runtime filter at the end, when you're actually running the search, gives you those options to change the parameters from the search. So what we're saying here is you could build one search to identify any tag, right? What happens when folks first learn how to use a search function is they maybe build 5 or 6 searches for different tags that they want to find the results associated to that tag. And then what they realize later is if you actually just set the runtime filter, you can just change the parameter or the option that you're looking for and have one search that does multiple things. So it's always a good option to set that runtime filter. You know, if the use case is appropriate for you, but that's what it does. It does save on you know, not having to have multiple searches, and it's a great feature. All right.
All right, next question. What is the best and fastest way to remove duplicate contacts from your CRM? So we want to remove some duplicate contacts. What is the best and fastest way? I cannot look at that photo without thinking of my childhood Sesame Street records.
Yep. All right, well done. Yeah, there's a standard report, the merge duplicate contacts, and we could have easily thrown you off. We did make this an advanced question, you know, because there are a few other reports that do remove duplicates, but not the contact record. So we put that in as one of our options there. But again, just to kind of clarify here, when we are on the reports, there's a standard report under the contact section called the merge duplicate contacts. And this is where you can really identify either by that email address, which is a dead giveaway that you have a duplicate, right? Because all of us have unique email addresses. Or we could search by parameters associated to the address. So street name and number, we can set the parameters up to like say 10 matching characters so that if we had 1234 North Palm Grove Drive and then 1234 North Palm Grove, those would show up as a potential match. And then you can look at that data and then decide to merge those records and then get rid of that duplicate. All right.
All right, next question. What's the fastest way to find a contact record if you're unsure which user group it belongs in? So I want to find Dave Roberts, but I don't know which user group Dave Roberts belongs.
Right. Is he member partner? Is he meeting sales? I can't quite remember.
I mean, you're everything to me, David. All right, we got answers coming in fast. Wow, look
Boom.
at that.
Really good. So this, I always thought this is something that I always felt like we don't ever get to spend much time on, the global search. It's a really powerful tool. And I feel like it just gets neglected as one of those cool features, but it's like, we'll talk about that later kind of a thing. And it is one of those really cool features that lets you search for specific, you know, items and just look across the entire all of the different databases, all of the different user groups, and find where that record, what the information you input into the global search shows up. So really great tool. I'm glad to see so many folks already knew about this. I think it's one of those things that just gets represented in terms of a feature.
Hmm.
All right.
All right, next one. If you wanted to find all accounts with a specific tag, which of these options will not work? So we're looking for the option that will not work if you wanted to find all accounts with a specific tag.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one.
I see the answers coming a little slower.
Yeah, we could have given a little more time on this one. I'm realizing that now, because this was one. This was a thinker. This was a thinker. So, yeah, you cannot click on the tag from any account record. So that's a good. This is a good equalizer. Definitely shifted the balance of power here.
Oh, look at this.
Dang, look at that. All right, so let's talk about that specifically. So you can't ID the associated accounts from the assigned tags section. You can only add or remove tags at the account level. So those other methods, going to the tags themselves and seeing what accounts are associated to them, that's going to be under the account tag section. And those other options are all viable options for you. But it's a little confusing, but you would think, oh, well, I want to see what other accounts are associated to these accommodations, 200 plus rooms or fine dining or pet friendly. You can't do that from the account level. You have to go back to the tag level in order to do that. So this was the wrong answer, right? Can't do it from this section of the account record. All right. No, we tripped you up with that one. Let's see what happens with this next one.
All right. True or false? Leads can be moved from one account to another. True or false?
Answers are coming in quick here, so people are feeling confident.
Hey, you got a 50-50 on this one.
It's true.
This could change our podium. Oh, nice.
Yes,
Excellent.
well done, everyone. And I'm going to suspect that the three of you that didn't get that right are not system administrators, because that's kind of the trick here. You have to be a system administrator to be able to do this function. Once you are looking at the record, and it's also not a function that is very commonplace. It doesn't follow the normal ways that you would edit a record. So normally we would go into the record, edit the record, and make our changes. In this case, you're looking at the lead record in this example, and you see that next to the account name, there's a little pencil icon, which is our edit icon. And that is a functionality that's available to system administrators. So you actually edit it from the outside, right, when you're looking at the record, as opposed to opening the record or editing the record and making the change there. So that's a big difference from how you would normally edit records in the CRM. So that could have thrown folks off as well, although everyone did really well. So this was a tough one. I thought we wouldn't get as many correct answers. Well done, everybody.
You've done great training, Dave.
I'd like to take credit.
True or false? Your organization can use the extranet to share CRM bureau reports. Ooh, it's coming in fast again. We could see some shifting again here, Dave.
Yep.
Saw that Amy was on a streak.
All right, almost all of you got this right. It is true. You can share your CRM bureau reports with your partners on the extranet. Jill is up at number 1. She is taking that slow and steady wins the race track. Nicely done.
Did you see that? Esther QC.
Very good.
7-answer streak. It's fantastic.
Awesome. Good job, everybody. All right. So just talk about this one a little bit. Again, from the admin section, you're going to go to your extranet reports, and there you will see your bureau reports listed, and you can determine which of those you want to share through the extranet. So a couple of things have to happen to make that work. some configuration on the extranet and also going here and selecting those reports. We can always send a static report in um, a partner bulletin. We can include static reports, but if we want to include these dynamic reports that are going to look at the current data as it is and represent that information in a report, that can be done through this section here. All right.
All right, then.
That's really nice. It's really nice that we can share that information with our partners, right? When it's necessary to do so. It's how we show value to those partners. All right, moving on.
Moving on. Next quiz question. What button do you click to see if a particular member partner has logged into the extranet? So we want
actually.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say we're actually representing the buttons that you would click on. So hopefully it looks familiar to those of you that are trying to make that determination. All right. Well done. Yeah, not too much explanation is going to be needed here. It looks like everybody kind of stayed the same. But we did have some people moving up, so good job. But yeah, the view log button located on the contact record itself is going to let you see a log of that partner extranet access. That is not to discount that there's a report in your standard reports that shows your portal access log that's going to show how all of your partners, have been all of their activity in terms. So you can see it both on a larger scale or on the individual scale so that you can have that one-on-one sort of counseling moment with your partner and say, well, I see you haven't been really, utilizing or whatever, or responding to those opportunities or reading the bulletin board or things of that nature. So it's good to kind of encourage them, let them take advantage of that tool.
Your log is better than bad. It's good.
That's right. Ren and Stimpy reference, everybody.
Where would you go to update the staff member who gets notified when a partner submits an event via the extranet? Via the extranet. So where would you go to update the staff member who gets notified when a partner submits an event via the extranet? Hope I didn't confuse anyone there. Ooh.
All right, this was a tough one. All right, so this is, again, it's kind of a system administrative function, but what we're doing here is we are identifying that, combo breaker, we just dropped the answer streak. Okay, so this was a tough one. So let's really get into this one. Let's dig into this. So let's represent exactly how you would do this, right? First of all, in the CRM, under the admin module, you're going to go to extranet emails, and this is specifically the events pending section is where you would be identifying which email or set of emails. These are going to be your emails there at the DMO that are going to receive a notification when a partner submits the event or changes the event, right? So it's a great way to stay informed and receive automatic updates whenever they update their extranet records. This one was specific to events, but you can see here in the list when they update their account, when they update their amenity, when they update a contact record, we can be notified, the DMO can be notified when those updates occur by your partners. So again, this is the way we get there. We go to the admin module, we go to the extranet emails, and then we add the email addresses of our staff that want to receive notifications when those changes take place on the extranet. All right.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
All right, next question. Where would you enter a lead incentive in CRM? Little hint there with the photo. The slush.
That's right.
Yeah. Want to enter that lead incentive into CRM.
All right, we threw some folks off with that incentive answer, I should say. There is no real incentive field on the lead form. It is the commitment tab, which is part of the partner services. So we tricked you a little bit, made it hard, but it is going to be the commitment tab. And let's see what that looks like. Nice job, Debbie, moving up, climbing up the ranks. So again, on the lead form, under the partner services tab, we have the commitments section, and this is where you can make that enter. So the DMOs will often provide those incentives to win the business. This could be funding, transportation, rebates, paying for meals, signage, subsidizing in a way almost to say, look, I really want your business. So, this is the equivalent of, for me, this is the equivalent of a salesperson saying, I like you. I'm going to give you 5% off, kind of a thing, but really it's about winning that business, right? All right, let's move on.
Let's do it. Next question. What option would you select to display a form within the Simple View CRM? So I have a form. I want to display it within the Simple View CRM. All right. What's up?
All right. Almost everybody got this one right too. And we can provide a little bit of an explanation here for you. PB in Texas making a comeback. Good job. And T-Dizzle up 3 places.
T-Dizzle.
All right. Yeah. That's almost as good as what did you call me, Christopher? I forgot.
Master Fam. You're
Master Fam. I'm Master Fam. All right. So optional forms. What we're seeing here is a screenshot from within the CRM, and you can see that in the admin section under Form Builder, once we select that radio button for post in CRM, yes, then it actually shows up here in the optional forms section in the left-hand navigation. So it's that button, it's that option that you're selecting when you're building your form that actually makes that determination of it being a form in CRM. And a good example of this, Christopher and I were talking about this. Suppose that you had an employee at a visitor center, and you wanted them to be able to create a record in CRM, but not have to necessarily go through the regular contact record in the CRM, which is quite extensive, and maybe have a shorter version that's even scripted. So where the questions are like, may I have your name, please? May I have your address? May I have your phone number? What is your email address? Do I have permission to send you an email? We could make all of those scripted questions as part of the form, and then they could just click on this optional form and fill that out, and thus create the record in CRM at the same time. So that's a good use case for the optional forms. And this is how you would make it available to your staff that are looking for those to fill out those forms from the CRM itself.
Great example, Dave.
Thank you.
All right, next question. True or false? Only system administrators can access the extranet's layout manager. So I want to access that layout manager. Do I have to be a system administrator?
Yeah, and if you've never seen this before and you're not a system administrator, that might be a good indicator as to whether this is true or false.
Good point.
And most everybody got this one right. Good job, everybody. All right, 4 players just got a 3 answer streak. Well done.
I love it.
Jill is dominating, so good job, Jill. So we'll just talk about this one really quickly since you mostly got this right. You have to be a system administrator to access that admin section. That little wrench icon in the extranet is going to let you then go into the layout manager like we showed in the previous screen. So, but yes, if you aren't set up, if your user doesn't have that system admin radio button checked or that checkbox checked when you're looking at the list of users, then you wouldn't be able to see that when you log into the extranet.
Checkbox checked.
Checkbox checked. That's a hard one.
Yes or no? If a meeting does not include room nights, can it still be considered a lead in CRM?
Fast answers. There were some folks that were 100% sure about this one.
Too bad I got it wrong yesterday. Just shows I need training from you, Dave.
Well, and this is one of those hard ones. So we got some Yeah, this was a tricky one for everybody. So the answer is no. If a meeting does not include room nights, we don't consider it a lead in CRM. You might call it a lead, you might fill out the lead form, but the reporting will not reflect it. And why are we saying that? Why is that the case? So let me explain. So when we're looking at what we would consider a lead, we're going to refer to DI, Destination International Standard, for what a lead is. And what we're talking about with the lead is it has to have a minimum of 10 sleeping rooms per night to meet their definition. Now, for other destinations or other uh, situations, we have additional parameters to really make it a qualifying lead. Now, that doesn't mean you can't use the lead for, if you're having a situation where there's less than 10 room nights being requested. It just really comes down to the reporting. How are we going to identify that this is a qualified lead according to the DI standard? And that is one of the standards that actually applies if you happen to be a Mint subscriber. That lead won't show up as a qualified lead to send to the Mint database because it has fewer than the 10 minimum nights required. Doesn't mean you can't enter it as a lead, just means it won't be counted in terms of reporting. But really, if it's just a request for a service that does not require room nights, just meeting space, just catering, just transportation, those are really service requests, and you should really complete those in the CRM as service requests.
Good
All
point.
right.
All right, next question. Which of the following is not true of a form builder form created in the consumer user group? So we got a little, just not true of a form builder form created in the consumer user group. Answer's coming in a little slower on this one.
Yeah, we're thinking about this one. All right, so again, the majority of you got this right. A lot of you didn't answer because you didn't have, this is a good note for myself, give you a little bit more time on this harder one. But yeah, the correct answer is it does not include, it is not true that it includes an automatic thank you message, right? And I know why this tripped people up because honestly, and we did see some shifting on that one. Yep. But Debbie is doing great, 3 in a row for Debbie. So good job. But let's explain this one a little bit. So here is a screenshot of the form builder form. And what you can see for the results, the form results page, the thank you is not an automatic situation. You have to decide what happens after the form is submitted. So it is a selection or it is a choice that you have to make. So that is why we might have thrown you off on that one. But still, it is true that those other things are automatic, and I already forgot what the other 3 correct answers were. But really, honestly, this is one that I like to point out. It's a section that we often just leave blank when we're creating those forms because the form is serving its purpose. It's collecting the data and that information is flowing to the CRM. But if we wanted some other functionality, we wanted to take them to a landing page on our website, or we wanted to send them, we wanted to display a thank you page URL, that can be done here. It's not an automatic thing. It's something that you have to configure for the form when it's submitted. All right.
Okay, if a group asks for meeting space without room nights, what would you create it as in CRM? You're tricky with this one, Dave.
Well, we kind of answered this one earlier in the quiz.
We get to see who's paying attention. Get some movement on this board again.
All right, almost everybody got this one right. Well done. So yes, it's a service request, right? We talked about those catering, transportation, just meeting space. Those are all considered service requests. And Mel is 6 in a row.
That's amazing.
You've moved up to 3rd place. Good job. All right, next question. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I put in an explanation slide on here. Yeah, again, this is the same sort of explanation that we did for the other question. DI standards define the lead as having room nights. So any non-room night requests can really just be entered as a service request.
All right, next question. An automatically generated trace in CRM is called. Stare at the photo. The answer will come.
Maybe. It's an obscure one.
You got to be maybe a little old or
Gotta be older.
be a fan of vintage television.
That's right. Oh, nicely done.
Wow.
This one speaks for itself. Clearly, as advanced users, you guys know that it is a trigger, right? So the trigger is the automatic trace, and we are staying steady with Amy having climbed to the first position, Jill just behind, and Mel in third place. 3 in a row for Lauren. So she is hanging tough. Good job, Lauren. Here we go. We're
Back in the
getting
game.
close.
Back in the game.
So
We're
yeah,
running.
yep. So here is that admin module with the maintenance tab showing us our triggers. This is the meeting sales group. So we've got account, lead, status, lead, user role, and service request triggers that can be created for those status changes. Yeah, and oh, sorry, the hint. The very obscure hint was that photo of the Palomino. That was Roy Rogers' horse, a Palomino named Trigger.
I hear a lot of who's Roy Rogers. In general, it is best to build the lead record from. So our lead record is best to build it from what?
Lots of fast answers and some thinkers. All right, almost everybody got this one right. Good job. We did hint at it earlier in the quiz. Yes, we want to build our lead. Oh, and we're staying steady. We are staying static with this. Excuse me, we're staying static with our answers. So, well, I won't. Since almost all of you got this right, I won't spend too much time. I do want to point out there is the occasional need to, when you get that call and they're ready to book their meeting right now, that you want to just go ahead and build the lead. You can always create the profile from the lead details and then go back and update the profile, and update the name, take out the date. Instead of 2022 annual summit, it's just the annual summit, and update that profile record. But that's a use case where they're like, I made this joke with Christopher yesterday. They're like, shut up and take my money, right? Like, we're coming to your destination. What do I need to do where do I sign? Those situations, you don't want to bother with burdening them with asking all of their profile history and getting all that information. Rather, you just go ahead and do the lead and then go back and update that profile later. That's what this button is for, and that's what the use case is.
And Dave, I'm always here to take your money if you want to.
There you go. I like it. All right. Next,
we're almost done.
Almost.
The search feature in CRM is designed to do what? So what is that search feature? What is it designed to do? All right, almost out of time.
All right. Almost everybody got this one correct as well. Yeah, it's for creating lists of records that you can take action on. That might be looking for duplicate contacts or looking for records that are missing information. You could take action in the form of a trace, adding a note, exporting the data out so that you have printing out mailing labels, lots of actionable things. But we think about the action of the search and really the report more as presenting data. So yeah, searches let you collect records and then do something with them, or identify those records and do something with them. Add a note, add a trace, edit those records to enter, find those ones with missing data and then go and clean up the data. So searches are really great for taking action on the data, whereas reports are more for presenting the data. And I think that was our last official question. And now we've got a fun one for you.
Was it?
Maybe, let's see.
think we have
Yes.
a multi-select, yes. Simple View, Dave, Becky, and Christopher want to, what do we want to do here?
Yeah. And mark all that apply.
All that apply.
Yeah.
I can't wait to travel again, Dave.
There you go. So yeah, so you got credit for all the answers that you answered. This was a hard one for me because I wanted everyone to get this one right, but it's true. We can't wait to travel. We can't wait to see you again in person. We definitely thank you for quizzing with us. So really appreciate you taking the time with us today.
I had a blast, Dave.
Yeah, this was fun, and I think we see that there's always room for improvement. There's always new things to learn about the CRM, or things that we've forgotten and need to remember, or things that we just go, yeah, I knew that. I don't know why I answered that that one that way. But it's a lot of information, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. So let's see who the winner is.
Yeah, who won in the end there? Podium.
We got third place, PB in Texas.
PB in Texas. Yes, stuck in there the whole time.
Jill is our number 2, and our number 1 is Amy. Amy clawed her way from way back and came up with the win. Nicely done, Amy. You'll be receiving shout out, honorable mention to Mel and to, I think it was
PRB.
Yeah, and so Amy, you'll be the recipient of a Amazon $25 gift card. We will make sure that we get your email out of that item, and we'll go from there.
And Dave, if anybody has any questions about their CRM, what are the best methods for them to contact us?
That's a great question. So, we have our client experience team. So your client success point of contact, whoever that is, your client success manager. I'm not always great on the titles, but that individual is always your best bet for your single point of contact for any simple view needs that you have. But since this was specifically about CRM, I would say your CRM analyst is always a sure bet to get in touch with them and use your support hours to get some questions answered and get some additional help, or even some additional training. That we would always work together with CX and CRM analysts to also identify when a training opportunity is available, and we can provide some additional training that way as well.
And I would be remiss if I did not mention that the Brainery course is available for CRM and is there and can provide an infinite amount of knowledge about the CRM.
Absolutely. Well said. I'm glad you mentioned that. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for all of us. Thank you again for playing. And Nicole, should I just stop sharing here, or what do we do to go ahead and round this out?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on. That was a blast. I learned a lot. I hope you did as well. I think, Dave.
I think you guys are good. Everybody's letting you know how much fun they had. So
awesome. Thank you.
This was a success. And with that, I will let everybody know the recording will be going out in an email to you guys. You can review, practice, whatever you'd like. And like they said, if you need anything, just let somebody on your Simple View team know, and have a great day.
Awesome. Bye, everyone.